Welcome back to the Pump is Full podcast, episode 4. We have the whole crew back again, and Antonio Brown is a bitch. That's the topic we're going to start with. And I'm actually kind of glad we delayed it a day, because turns out he's also theoretically a piece of shit, an alleged rapist, yeah. Go ahead, Zach.
Yeah. So, God, when's the last podcast? Last week?
Yeah.
So, last week at this time, is this one? I think a week ago today, he cussed out Mike Mayock.
Yes, it's when he called him a cracker.
Yeah, he called him a cracker and punted the ball and said, "Find that."
And he had to get held back by like teammates.
Yeah, by Vontaze Perfect. Yeah, yeah. That man he's got something wrong with him. But I think after all this went down, I think it was all planned. Like, there's no way.
Drew Rosenhaus is probably a genius.
No, I swear. Like, I said that in our group me. I guess like the moment he asked to be released the first time, I said he's gonna go to the Patriots. Like, the Patriots they're not gonna pay him $30 million, but he'll get cut and he'll go there like the same day.
The fact that everyone on Twitter was calling it too, like everyone on Twitter was
just
like,
so
he's
like
gonna do
predictable, and it was so. The report came out that he had like reached out to like a social media like company, like a PR company to pretty much get cut.
Yeah,
like they pretty much told him like the steps he could do to get released without like completely fucking himself over, and so he did those. But the weirdest part was how he released that video Friday night
of him running around the pool.
He's like, which one? Where it
was like he recorded John Gruden.
Oh, that was weird.
Are you talking about the one where he called, or the one where he jumped around after he got released?
That was Saturday.
Honestly, the fact that both of those.
It was just such a roller coaster because he cussed out Mayock. The next day, he gives a heartfelt apology with the team captains. I don't know who the team captains are on the Raiders, but they must look like
Reggie
the biggest.
Nelson is one of them. We know
I
that.
didn't even know he's still in the league. But that meant they must look like the biggest idiots in the world because it was all planned. And literally that night is when he put out that video and got pissed again. And then like early Saturday morning, he said, "Release me." Then he got released. It was such like on a timeline.
The phone call video was the weirdest thing because it was like.
The one where Gruden's like, man, we need you.
With Gruden like talking, and he was like, I'm not the villain, like they're making me out to be. And Gruden's like, just play football.
Yeah, he's like, please, can you just fucking play football? Like, and then Antonio Brown he was like, I'm more than a football player. I was like, no, you're fucking not.
Like, I don't think anyone was making him out to be a villain. I think they're just observing what he was literally just doing.
I'm like, it's insane. There's no way it couldn't be planned. All the video, like the fact that all this came out, got released, and within like an hour, he signed with the Patriots for half what his contract was. Like, that's just fucking insane to me.
Yeah. And the Patriots are going to be unfair. Like, they're like the Warriors now.
The fact that they could trade Demaryius Thomas like that, because now they have Antonio Brown too. Like, we don't need him. And they shit on the Steelers, which sucked a lot, but...
Yeah, I think they're going to shit on everybody this year. The Chiefs are the only team in the AFC who have a chance, but the Chiefs' defense did not look good against the Jaguars. So and Mahomes, I feel like he's gonna get hurt this year because I watched like the first little part of that Jags game and he got hit so much. I feel like
everyone got hurt this week.
Yeah, but their line is not good. Like, he got hit a ton, and so if he goes out even for a game or two, they're screwed.
Who's their backup?
Matt Moore.
Yeah, so not good.
Ew.
And segueing into, I guess, being sad, all our teams lost very embarrassingly. Bucks had
Pump is full bump.
Me and Will, our team, Steelers, got embarrassed on live television, scored 3 points, horrible play calling, just was not good. You had Jameis threw 2 pick sixes, and the Falcons just got shut out completely. They pretty much got same treatment the Steelers did, except it wasn't on national TV.
Yeah, it was not good. Dalvin Cook, shout out to him. He looked great. He ran all over the defense. He looked like he did in college. Like, he looked super explosive again. He was hitting all the holes. Falcons play calling wasn't great. Keanu Neal had a good game, but that's only like.
Well, the reason the Vikings look so good is y'all see Kirk Cousins threw like 10 passes, and threw for like 80 yards.
That's the key.
If you don't let him touch the ball, if you let Dalvin Cook run all game, you're gonna be pretty good, and their defense is good. So, I mean, at least you all got beat by good teams. The 49ers suck. Like, they looked so bad. Jimmy G, their only offense is George Kittle, and he's really good. But they threw it to him like 10 times, and he was just an automatic first down.
Who's the running back? Isn't it?
It's Tevin Coleman, but he got hurt. And so Matt Breida.
Is Jerick McKinnon healthy?
He's out for the
year. He's on IR.
Hurt again?
Yeah.
That sucks for him.
It's Tevin Coleman was who everyone thought, and then Matt Breida came in. He was pretty good actually, but yeah, the Bucks. Tomorrow we play the Panthers on Thursday Night Football.
Oh, I'm sorry.
If home or away?
It's away. And if we lose tomorrow, we're starting out 0-6 because we go on the road. We don't go back to Tampa until like mid-October. We go to L.A., we go to New York, we go to London. Like we have the worst schedule ever.
London?
We play the Panthers in London like 3 weeks.
So you don't even get your home game with the Panthers?
No, they do. We got screwed so hard.
Oh my God, I'm reading it.
I legit think we could start out like 0-6.
You can beat the Giants, but
I don't know, man.
I'm just looking at the schedule. Oh my God, you guys don't get a good home game for
that's why
until like November.
This last one was a must win, and the thing is we had it fucking won. Like our defense, Todd Bowles is actually like really good. Our defense, who has no talent, like we were the worst in the league last year. I think they had like the 10th, like statistically the 10th best defense last week, and our offense did not look great. OJ Howard had 2 turnovers, and he kind of lost the game more than Jameis.
Real quick, starting September 29th, the Bucks will not have a home game until November 10th.
Oh, God. So I told you we got screwed, man.
That's rough.
No, it's like the worst scheduling ever. But yeah, pretty much tomorrow determines if Jameis is going to be the franchise quarterback or not.
Yeah, I was about to say, I know there's like a whole season ahead, but
if we lose tomorrow,
he's done.
Well, if we lose tomorrow and he does, I just don't want to throw a damn interception. Like it's like one of them he threw 3. One of them OJ Howard just popped up in the air. It wasn't his fault. One of them Bruce Arians says he threw like a curl route to a running back against Richard Sherman, and apparently the running back ran the wrong. Like he ran it too far. But why are you throwing that in the first place? Like it's Richard Sherman against the crappy running back. And then the third one was the worst throw I've ever seen. Like I honestly kind of want the Bucks to. The Dolphins are going to have the number 1 pick, but I kind of want us just to get like a top 10 pick, and I just want us to get Jake Fromm because he's the most safe quarterback in the world, and I'm just tired of every pass like thinking, oh, that might be intercepted. Like I just want a game manager at this point because we have talent, we just can't keep the ball.
I saw on Twitter, I didn't watch it, but I saw people were kind of hyping up Ronald Jones. Did he have
he was pretty good. Yeah, he had like 10 carries for like 80 yards, something like that. He'll have like he almost broke a few that would have been longer.
Did
He's
he start out
super fast.
the game or Peyton Barber did?
Peyton Barber started and did nothing. So
yeah, Ronald Jones 1375. He had a good game.
The thing is with Ronald Jones, he probably weighs less than all of us. Like he's tiny, but he's super fast. But you got to be worried about him getting hurt. But yeah, he'll be a good fantasy pickup. I don't know. The Panthers are pretty damn good.
Speaking of fantasy pickups, fuck you, Spencer.
Thank you. Who'd I get? I got AJ Brown, which I'm surprised he was already picked up
running
on
back.
Team. Shit, I can't think of him either. But I'm glad I did that.
I made it like 85% of the way through the waiver. And
Malcolm Brown.
Yeah.
I saw some dude with 6 Twitter followers like a week ago say Malcolm Brown's going to be the backup.
I had to wait like 36 hours, and I made it like 80% of the way through, and I wake up the morning of, and it's like, nope.
No, I saw this random dude say, nope, it's Malcolm Brown, not Darrell Henderson. I'm like, that's fucking stupid. No, it's Darrell Henderson. Everyone knows this. And then Malcolm Brown got like half the touches. And
that was weird. That was weird, though.
Yeah.
Because I thought Henderson would have gotten him, too.
All right. Moving on. Hudson, is the Browns hype train still on? You're the most unbiased here out of all.
I'm gonna go with it's still on. But I'm gonna say like what
should it still be on?
I'm gonna say what I said about them like beginning of the season. I feel like the hype of them being like a playoff Super Bowl contender, like all that people were talking about, that's definitely not what they are. They're like a second wild card seed, barely like really close to the playoffs.
Yeah.
Kind of like I said like a few episodes ago. I feel like this year is really just kind of like winning games that they hadn't won in the past and kind of.
I don't think the second wild card team can come from the North, though. Do you?
I think
the North's just a one team.
I think
one playoff team.
Maybe the Ravens.
They have a kind of rough schedule coming up too. They so at New York on Monday night, I do think they'll probably beat the Jets.
Yeah,
but then they have to play Los Angeles.
Which one?
Rams.
Okay.
Then they have to play in Baltimore. I think they'll beat the Niners, and then they have to play against the Seahawks, then at Patriots, and then at Mile High, which Broncos aren't good, but playing at that stadium.
That's what I'm saying though, this year. I feel like they're going to win like not a handful, maybe like 2 or 3 games that like the Browns have not in the past and kind of like dust off kind of that Brown narrative. But I don't feel like they're going to be good enough to be like a legitimate playoff team.
If they were going to do it, it'd be in the second half of their season because that's when they get the Dolphins and Bengals twice, although Bengals look good. But even though the Steelers look bad right now, they still historically have just never been able to really beat Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
I mean, Big Ben's the winningest
quarterback
in
the
Browns Stadium.
Are any of those Browns Steeler games primetime games?
Both. One's a Thursday game and one's a 4:25 game in Pittsburgh.
Must be nice.
Yeah.
We get one a year.
We get like
maybe
5. Did y'all watch Gardner Minshew? I asked Zach earlier before it started.
Yeah, he looked well. Foles looked good too. Before Foles, the play he got hurt on was a dime.
Pretty holy shit.
Their receivers are nobodies. Like DJ Chark's their number 1 guy.
Yeah, D.D. Westbrook kind of looked good. I watched a little bit of it.
Yeah.
Turns out NFL Red Zone.
It's the best thing in the world.
The best thing.
Dude,
yeah.
I have Sunday ticket like my family does, and we get it free the first week, and then you have to pay extra for it. We don't pay extra, but I'm just gonna have you can get it on Reddit, so I'm just gonna have it pulled up and
Reddit Zone.
It's the best, especially if your team's not playing. Like before the Bucks game, I was just glued for every game because it just kept cutting in and out. It was so nice. But yeah, he threw a lot of underneath passes, but he looked pretty damn good. The Jaguars defense, I was super disappointed. They were playing Mahomes, they were playing the Chiefs, but their good players were just getting destroyed.
That's it. Gardner Minshew.
He looked super good. I didn't watch that game. I saw the highlights and I've seen kind of some of the videos throughout the week. But yeah, he looks really good. He was playing how he was in college. He's kind of I saw something that's one of Minshaw's biggest kind of pros is that he's comfortable in his own skin. And you can just tell that when he was in college, he kind of did his own thing. He's got the mustache, kind of out of the box. And I think that's going to help him because you get a lot of these rookie quarterbacks, especially if you're an undrafted free agent. You'll come and be like, oh, I need to do this. I don't want to make a mistake. And I feel like he's going to go out there just kind of slinging. He doesn't really care. And you could tell that's what he did on Sunday.
And he's got the best facial hair
he's got a flow too. His story's wild because he started off somewhere big or decently big. I know he went to East Carolina in a junior college, and then Alabama wanted him to be their backup. And he pretty much had committed to go to Alabama as their backup behind Tua. And then Mike Leach called him really late in the summer. I was like, hey, come be our starting quarterback. And he's like, sure. And then he went 11-2 at Washington State, which does not happen, and lit it up.
He went to Northwest Mississippi Community, then East Carolina.
Okay, so he just went to East Carolina.
And then like you said, he lit it up with Mike Leach, 38 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. And then he PFF, so his adjusted completion percentage, not counting drop passes or batted balls, was 100%. He looked good out there. I liked him too.
I don't know why I thought he should have been
23 of 25 or 22 of 25.
It was something really
even
good.
the non-adjusted.
I don't know why during the draft process he never nobody gave him anything.
Yeah, I remember in the spring, the last day, looking at my phone, and I remember him going undrafted. I was that was kind of shocking.
Yeah, he
went undrafted.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
I remember he went to the Senior Bowl.
Sixth round.
Sixth round.
Mm-hmm.
He went to the Senior Bowl and he played pretty well, and just nobody said anything about him, which I thought was kind of weird because
the measurables and stuff.
Yeah, I guess he's not the most athletic.
They probably thought his school too. They're like, oh, weak conference.
Yeah,
I got duped. Everyone, that Tyree Jackson guy who I thought was going to be amazing, he got cut by the Bills. He's on their practice squad. I thought he was going to be a second rounder. I thought he was so good at the Senior Bowl.
And if you didn't see the Steelers traded Josh Dobbs for a 5th round, which I'm like, that seems fair. I didn't think it was going to start. They just want a backup now, which means
they need
Nick
something.
Foles might be out for some time, which is what
I thought a collarbone though. He'll be back this season.
Well, if they have a chance to make the playoffs.
Okay, yeah.
But if I think I don't know.
It's just insurance because they're the season just started.
I think they're the 4th team in that division now
because Tennessee looked good.
Yeah, I think their offense is going to slow them down at some point, but their defense looked like elite last week.
And sticking with the AFC South, it sucks for the Colts because they played actually a really good game against the Chargers, but their problem is they're missing that one piece, and it's Andrew Luck. They're just slightly not good enough to beat the good teams, but they're better than all the bum teams. So where they're going to be in this 8-8, 9-7 purgatory.
Yeah, and they gave Brissett a 2-year contract too for $15 million a year.
Which is, I'm not.
That's
against
a pretty
that.
good contract.
Yeah,
but
like for.
I think honestly, I would take him in 2 seconds with my team situation because he is pretty safe. Like he's just a game manager.
Exactly.
But really, the reason they were so good with Andrew Luck is because he could throw guys open. Like they don't have a ton of talent. Like T.Y. Hilton's good. Marlon Mack's a decent running back, but like they don't have like stars like you would think.
They have a good tight end duo with Ebron and Doyle.
Yeah, and then Quentin Nelson's the best offensive lineman in the league.
But yeah, I think you're right, Spencer. I feel like they're going to be in that weird spot where it's like you're not good enough to get one of the top quarterbacks. Nor that I don't think they're going to go for a quarterback in the draft. I mean, I guess we'll see how this year goes. Well, you said they just gave Brissett that contract. I mean, they could with the way like this quarterback class is looking. It looks like there might be like potentially.
This is going to be a really good class.
Yeah, there are potentially like 4 or 5 guys in the first round. I could see like a situation where like, oh, well, this guy fell to us, whatever spot they end up getting, and them taking it. But I mean, that'll come in the future.
And then so we're gonna take a quick break for our sponsors. So our first sponsor hopefully is gonna be OJ Simpson. I DM'd him today.
The GOAT.
I DM'd the Juice. What'd I say to him? I'm gonna see if he read it. Give me a sec. All right, OJ still hasn't read it, but no, he hasn't seen it.
Can you tell on Twitter?
Yeah, you can
get
tell.
You a red
Oh,
thing,
shit.
doesn't
Yeah.
it?
I didn't know that.
But pretty much I just said, "Sup Twitter, yours truly. I love you, OJ. Blah blah blah." And I said, "Hope to hear back from you, Mr. Juice. Hoping we'll get him on the podcast."
He's the man.
He is the man.
I've never like I know he probably like he's the most charismatic dude on and like
Yo, don't say that. I wouldn't actually come on.
Oh, sorry.
Scratch that. Strike that.
Edit that out.
Spencer
But,
deleted.
yeah, no, I literally every single time I watch one of his videos, I just think it's so entertaining how he and like people like all the comments are just roasting him. He just does not. He doesn't read them. He literally does not care.
I just love the sup Twitter, yours truly. Inject that into my veins.
Yeah, that's my. It gets me so hype. But yeah, and literally everything. It's him and all of his like rich buddies at the golf course playing fantasy football. That's all they talk about.
I love the Antonio, man. What are you doing?
I'm curious he was in jail for the past like 10 years, and like I wonder if they like let him watch because he knows a ton about like all these like current players. I guess maybe he just studied when he got out of jail, but I wonder if they let him watch it in jail.
Who do you think his friends are that he plays golf with all the time?
A bunch of rich lawyers and I don't even know.
Maybe some former players.
Hopefully
on the
us.
Bills.
Hopefully us one day.
We'll get him in our league.
Did you know how good? I feel like people overlook how good he actually was. He had. I was talking to Hudson about this. He had 2,000 yards in 14 games.
He was like he was like the best of all time back then.
I knew he was like super dope in college, but like I'm gonna be honest, I knew nothing about his NFL career. I thought it was just kind of like a small stint with the Bills.
No, Mr. Juice is for real.
And then he retired kind of early because he was like a actual celebrity.
I know.
He is what Antonio Brown wants to be.
I think that's his goal is to be as famous as OJ, but that might
we don't know.
Yo, Spencer, cut that again.
cutting it again. That might be why Antonio Brown has that current charge he has.
That's true.
He's trying to
That's
get
true.
famous. All right, and then our second sponsor is Hudson's boy Sawyer Smith. Hudson, tell us about Sawyer Smith.
Sawyer Smith's gonna light it up this Saturday for Kentucky. I'm predicting at least 250 passing yards and 3 touchdowns, and he's gonna beat Florida at home. Go Cats!
Go Cats!
Did you guys listen to KSR today?
No,
I did.
They're discussing if it's Sawyer or people were saying Sawyer, and shout out Drew Franklin with his joke. He said it's Sawyer, like, hey Florida, I saw your quarterback and he's pretty fucking terrible.
He is. Filippo Franks?
Dude, we'll at least get
sucks.
2 picks
Hey,
off
man.
him. He's garbage.
I hope. Can we invite Steve Spurrier on the podcast?
I love Steve Spurrier.
I think I'll DM him now. Give me
I
a
don't
sec.
think he's on Twitter.
I'll
I
find
think
it.
he's on Twitter. I remember
Spencer's
that was the
Twitter
thing.
fingers.
That was the thing when he like came on Twitter.
Steve Spurrier is on Twitter.
It's like ball coach.
It's Steve
something.
Spurrier, Coach Steve Spurrier, Florida Athletics. Can't DM him though. It's disappointing. Oh well, we always have next time. All right. Thank you for our sponsors. Oh, also, we denounce racism. Anyway, games of the week. I have 5 written down. Not all of them necessarily good games, but games that like will tell us more about the NFL this season. First one, Seattle-Pittsburgh. I think this is if the Steelers didn't get blown out on just recently against the Patriots. I think it'd be a really like good game, something everyone would watch. Now it's more are the Steelers actually going to be a good team, or are they actually as bad as they look?
I would say are the Seahawks going to be a good team because they almost lost to the Bengals.
That's true.
Like the Bengals had, I didn't watch a minute of it, but from what I heard, Andy Dalton I think had a career record.
He leads the league. I mean, obviously week 1, but he leads the league.
But I thought their offense was going to be terrible, and they hired an offensive coach. But
it was actually their defense's fault
that they lost.
Or no, they won, but it's their defense's fault that they were in the position they. They won 21.
That's the thing is, I thought the Seahawks were going to blow them out. Like if I didn't gamble, thank God, last weekend because the bets I was going to do was the Falcons over the Vikings. I would have lost so much money, but I was gonna bet the Seahawks just to kill the Bengals.
I lied. Everyone on Seattle did not look good. Their running game was just
I knew they did.
DK Metcalf had a good game, but other than that, their offense didn't look good.
You see his mouthpiece?
What is it?
It was a baby pacifier.
Oh yes, I did see that.
That's awesome.
Yes. Hudson, any thoughts on this?
Let's say even though Seattle didn't look good, as you guys as Steelers fans, let's say hypothetically Seattle comes in and they win by like a touchdown or so. Are you worried the Steelers are starting out 0-2?
Yes.
I would be concerned. I don't know what their schedule is. I also have $50 on this, as we mentioned before, so I'd be a little bit nervous. Let's see. They play at San Francisco, which
you should get that.
Yeah, they play. And then they play 2 games: one against the Bengals, one against the Ravens, both at home. They'll get the Ravens, so they'll win against the Bengals, the Ravens. I don't know. We always split with them, so they could flip that to 2-2. But I would definitely be. I'm definitely not going to feel good if we start at 0-2.
Can we take a side note and talk about Lamar Jackson real quick? If he's legit or is that just a product of playing shitty Dolphins?
The Dolphins, the fact
so
that
wild.
they're that bad.
Well, didn't they like a good portion of their team like already asked their agents to trade?
So I'll give him his credit that you have to at least be like competent to make these throws. And I think he did have a good game. He would not have produced those numbers against anybody
else.
And this isn't me trying to even like throw hate. This Dolphins team is actually worse than the Browns were like 2 years ago. They're going 0-16.
I just feel bad for him because like they have to play in 98 degrees and they're just getting destroyed.
The Pats this week.
And God, they're just like, and I feel their coach he's the old Patriots defense coordinator. He's a good coach, but I don't know why he took that job. Like it's so
win situation.
Well, that's before they decided they were tanking. They got rid of Tannehill. Tannehill would at least, I feel like, bring them another extra win or two.
Yeah, and I think
to Fitzpatrick or Rosen.
I think once they traded for Rosen and saw him, I think they're like, oh shit.
Yeah, because the fact that he got beat out by Fitzpatrick is like, oh.
Dude, I felt bad for Fitz. They were just like the Ravens scored in like 30 seconds, and they literally the first drive with Fitz. He got sacked, and then both plays were just Hail Marys. Like that's their only hope.
Kenyon Drake's, as of right now, not that good. They have no one to throw to other than Devontae Parker, who has shown nothing.
Yeah, they're just bad, and
like they're just bad.
They're gonna be.
They traded Laramie Tunsil, so their line got worse. Like they don't have.
They're gonna have to be the new Browns in the sense they're gonna have to rebuild through the draft.
I mean, they have a lot of capital to do it now.
Yeah. They still have Minka.
Yeah, Minka's good.
I do like Minka.
And Xavier. Yeah,
those are their only two
Christian
players.
Wilkins.
Yeah.
The rookie out of Clemson,
yeah, I know you're talking about.
They'll be. I don't know. I think their future's not too bleak, but yeah, it's gonna be a long year.
And Rick Pitino's at their game.
Oh God.
This isn't Louisville hate. This is just slightly Louisville hate. All right. Los Angeles, New Orleans. I'll let the NFC South guys take this. Hudson.
God, I hope the Rams win.
Yeah, I really hope the Rams win. I think that's it in Los Angeles. Yeah, it's the 4:25 game in Los Angeles. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't watch the Rams game this week because it was on the same time as the Falcons. But I knew you were watching on the.
That's why I got Red Zone, baby.
It was super close. They ended up winning it.
I didn't watch it either. I just saw it on Red Zone, and from what I heard, like the Rams had the lead. Like they were up 2 touchdowns like the whole game, and then if there would have been like 5 minutes left, the Panthers would have won because they had all the momentum towards the end. So I think the Rams are good, but they need a running like Malcolm Brown, whatever. But they need Todd Gurley to beat Todd Gurley.
Yeah, they need to balance stuff out.
But because I don't know, and their defense is not as good as it was last year. So I hope they win. The Saints, I knew when Deshaun Watson, I've given him a hard time. I think the Texans aren't going to – I think this is their only year they're going to be good. I think their future's not too great. But that throw he made to Kenny Stills to give them the lead was, like, unreal. Like, he threw a bull at like 45 yards. But once he scored with a minute left, I was like, oh, Drew Brees is going to get a field goal. He's going to give him field goal range. Like, it's happened too many times to Hudson and I. He always honestly, I hope the Saints are good this year so he retires. I just want to be done with him.
Their future does not look good after he leaves.
Oh no, Teddy Bridgewater does not look good recently.
All our Louisville fans would be like, Teddy was so good at the Vikings. Teddy he
was very average.
14 touchdowns both seasons he played. Like, he was just a game manager. Like, it wasn't a bad thing.
And he looked good for the Jets in the preseason. And then everyone's like, oh, shit, he's going to be great for the Saints. And every time the Saints have played it, they've not looked good.
Taysom Hill, man.
Speaking of game managers, can we talk this was the first game of the week 1. Can we talk about how average Mitch Trubisky looked?
Oh, my God.
Oh, God, he looked below.
We can rewind to that if you want.
He looked not very good at all.
Game was fucking brutal.
Mediocre.
He threw like 50%, maybe like how many? He threw like a pick or something. I don't remember his exact stats.
There was a point I was texting.
Such a boring game.
I was texting in the group chat.
It should have been like the best game of the week.
Yeah,
there was a point where like they were trying to drive to like take the, like win the game, or they're tied up. I can't remember. And his 3 balls in a row just sailed over his receiver's head.
I saw that.
Just overthrew.
We were watching that at my house, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, he just looks so bad. The Bears defense, the fact that they held Green Bay to 10 points shows you how good they really are.
Yeah, they're good. And Green Bay's offense, their coach is the old Titans offense coordinator, and he still is like running a Mariota offense with Aaron Rodgers. Like, a lot of the passes were like RPOs where he like throws like a random slant to some. The Packers receivers are not good, except Devontae Adams, but
they need to feed him the ball.
Like, they don't let Aaron Rodgers be Aaron Rodgers, so that's why like they only scored 10 points because the Bears' defense is good. But like, their play calling was very different. If they keep doing that if they have a team that's going to score a lot of points, they're going to be in some trouble.
Their defense look good.
Yeah,
that might just be a product of the Bears.
I was going to say that might have been their run game. They who'd they feed instead of David Montgomery? Mike Davis. They were feeding Mike Davis.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Like, he just ended with like more stats.
I didn't even know Mike Davis was still in the NFL.
He was the starting running back apparently for the Bears. Like, I don't, like you said, I don't know if it's a product of Trubisky or just how good Green Bay's defense is. I think it's a mix of both. But he looked awful. Like, if you were a Bears fan, that would make
they didn't
me
play
feel
him.
sick.
They didn't play any of their starters the entire preseason.
Yeah, that was weird.
And so if you have Khalil Mack, he'll look fine. He remember he didn't play. He got traded the week of the home opener last year, and he had I think 2 interceptions, or like he was incredible. Okay. But if you don't play your quarterback at all during the preseason, he's going to be rusty, and their offense is going to be rusty. And they were so bad.
I don't think this is honestly rust to add. Like, when I say
rust,
I
don't think they're good in the first place, but like I don't know how they thought that was a good idea.
I just don't think Trubisky's the quarterback. Like, who they passed up on Deshaun and Patrick Mahomes for Trubisky.
Yeah.
Didn't they trade up like?
Yeah, they traded up one pick.
Like, not like with themselves, but like they got tripped out.
The team they traded with like wasn't gonna draft.
Yeah, it was the 49ers. They weren't gonna draft him.
Yeah, some dumb shit like that.
Yeah, that whole draft, we'll look back and be like, that draft sucked.
Solomon Thomas was like the
dude. Yeah, I thought he was gonna be so good.
Who's the first pick? Myles Garrett.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's good, but yeah, it was Solomon Thomas was third because I thought he was going to be so good.
I thought he was going to be good,
and he didn't even get on the. He got on the field one time that I noticed because it was 3rd and like 4, and I think they sacked us, but he lined up offside, so we got the first down. Like, that's the only time I saw him in our game.
That's actually a pretty stacked draft. Wait, no, wrong draft. I'm stupid.
Well, the beginning of the draft's what I mean. It was like because they had Mahomes, they have Watson, they have all those guys, but like there were some guys up there who, just like, why were they picked that high?
Chad Kelly was in that draft, Hudson.
Wasn't he like Mr. Irrelevant?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Solomon Thomas. Oh God, listen to the first
Fournette,
5 picks.
Right? Fournette 4.
Fournette was 4. Corey Davis was 5.
Yeah, see, it's gonna be that.
This draft is so weird. It's Myles Garrett, John Ross is in it, McCaffrey, Mike Williams.
That's the one where we got O.J. Howard at like 18. I was like, how
19,
did this?
Yeah.
I was like, how did this? I remember I was at Courthouse on my phone.
OJ.
I was like, how is this happening right now?
Is Corey Davis still like one of the Titans receivers?
He's their number 1.
Well,
I thought Brown.
Well, Brown will be by the end of this season.
But yeah, I don't know. I think he'll be better now that they.
He was the 5th overall pick.
Oh, I know he's not going to live up to that ever, but
no,
he'll be serviceable as like a 2.
I don't think it's so hard to draft wide receivers that high and then actually turn out. Odell's the most recent one. And
he wasn't even. He was.
He was
Mike
like
Evans went. Mike Evans went in front of him, and Sammy Watkins went fourth.
Mike Evans,
I'm
true.
gonna say
Sammy Watkins
Evans
had a really
lived
good
up
game
to
this
it.
past week, but
Yeah,
what were you saying, Hud?
I'm saying Evans has lived up to
Oh,
that.
Evans has been great. He played with the flu the other day,
Flu game.
and he was throwing
That's
up.
real.
He was throwing up on the field like crazy, and I felt bad for him. But I think he only had like 3 catches, but he played like as much as he could. And he was really just throwing up all over the field. He's a beast.
There's the I don't know if you remember it. The Steelers were playing against the Dolphins, and Lawrence Timmons.
I do remember that.
Wait,
That was
for this-
disgusting.
Oh, that was
on the-
disgusting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so gross how like they play on the field. Where there's just so many like different. There's blood, puke, everything's just in the field, and they just roll over it the entire game.
That's disgusting.
Why do basketball games have to stop for blood
Or
on
he like
jerseys?
slip on it. I don't know.
No, but they like make you change your jersey and
Because they're
stuff. though.
pussies.
Like they'll have
They're
to like.
pussies, Will.
I actually did. That's a good question. I
Yeah,
don't
like
know.
sometimes they make a player like change numbers because they don't have the same
Yeah.
number jersey in the locker
And
room.
football jerseys get like ripped all the time and
Yeah,
shit.
they're
No
just
one,
like
yeah.
completely just like
Didn't they do that to Eulis one game? Like when his
his
eye was
eye got
bleeding?
cut and
Yeah.
they had to like
Stop.
wash his jersey and stuff. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. I just thought about that with the.
Yeah.
Thanks, Will. Cliff just texted me. Are you recording now? Yes. All right. Dallas versus Washington. I think this is also interesting because I think it'll be a good game because Washington almost beat the Eagles. They kind of
They
let it
should
go.
have, yeah.
But did Cole McCoy play that whole game?
It was
Case
Case Keenum.
Keenum.
Oh, that's what I meant. Case
Cole
Keenum.
McCoy's still dead.
Terry still has a broken leg. Redskins and broken legs. Just or words and
Yeah,
broken
Geis
legs.
is hurt again too.
He is?
He got like a quarter and then he hurt his knee again. He's
That's
out for like a
AP
couple
AP
weeks.
didn't even dress out, and like the reason
Yeah.
they gave, they're like, there's nothing wrong with him. He's just not dressed out. Like that's what the announcers.
And now
were
he's their
saying.
starting running back again.
Terry McLaurin looked. is
Oh,
that
he's
how you say it?
good.
Yeah,
he's good.
He
They threw a
looked
deep
really
pass
good.
to him.
I'm excited to see Haskins play now.
I'm
Because I want to see
excited.
their connection.
Yeah, they need to throw him in because they're not great, but he won't get destroyed.
Dallas looked pretty good. in
Dude, their
game.
offense, Kellen Moore, who's got to be like 27 or like he was just playing a couple years ago. It might have been because they were playing the Giants, but he was just lighting them up. Their offense looks so good, and they made Dak's gonna get paid
Shout
over
out
40
Dak.
now.
He got
Yeah.
me a nice amount of fantasy points.
Where are the Cowboys getting all this money? They paid Jalen Smith. They paid Zeke. They paid like a defensive end just now. It might have been
DeMarcus Lawrence,
Yeah.
he got a
Like,
lot.
how do they have this money? I don't understand.
Well, they're
Jerry's a sketchy dude.
Jerry is a sketchy
I don't
dude.
know. 'Cause I guess all their old guys mostly, except like Sean Lee, have retired or they're not. Like Jason Witten's not making any money. But
The more I think about it, the Cowboys have a really good roster.
no, I think they'll win that division.
Oh no, The problem is Eagles also have a really good division.
Yeah, that one of those two.
They both might go.
I think they'll both make the playoffs.
It's going to be a really competitive division
Yeah.
there. Well, the Redskins can probably go like 8-8. I'm feeling right now.
They're in that weird spot like the
They're- yeah,
Colts.
they're-
Not as much though. Like they're like one piece away, but they're in that
They
weird
should
spot.
trade
like they're in
Trent
the-
Williams. Did he play?
No, he
He
said
just
he's
sits on the
playing.
bench.
He's not going to play.
he's not even at the stadium. Like he's just
He's just chilling.
He's just chilling. All right, what's the next game I have? Where's the list? Minnesota versus Green Bay. This is kind of what we were talking about, where a lot of these games are to see if we can confirm, like, if these teams are really good. Is Minnesota really as good as they looked? Which is the run game really the
Is
difference?
that game in Minnesota or Green Bay?
I think it's in Green Bay.
I'd pick the Packers. I do think I think the reason Minnesota looks so good against the Falcons is because they scored quick.
Yeah, it's in Green Bay.
They blocked the first punt and they ran Dalvin Cook in. Like if they can get the run game going, they're going to be hard to beat. But I don't trust Kirk Cousins.
I can't shit on the Vikings too much because my friend Lucas made fun of me after the Steelers lost.
Yeah.
Lucas will, you know him. I think Aaron Rodgers is. I don't know. See, I'm so torn almost because Green Bay could only put up 10 points against
Their
the
offense
Bears.
is weird. I'm
Yeah.
telling you. Like if you watch them, they just like it's like they're still like catering to Mariota, but Aaron Rodgers is 100 times better.
Like the Vikings defense is comparable to the Bears because they have like some playmakers in the secondary, are insanely good pass rush with Daniel Hunter, I think is his name.
Danielle Hunter, yeah.
Danielle Hunter, Everson Griffin, crazy man.
Yeah. Yeah, they're good.
They're good. Yeah, they're good. Hudson.
Yeah, I think it's in Green Bay. I think this will be a really good game. I think it'll be similar to kind of the Packers' first game, where I don't think they'll score a lot of points just because Minnesota's defense is pretty legit, like you said. But I think they'll end up winning, especially because it's at home. but I don't think they're gonna put up like a ton of points like we're used to seeing Green Bay do.
Yeah.
Will, can you name one Green Bay Packers wide receiver?
Devontae Adams.
Can you name
Hey,
one
It's
more?
because Zach mentioned him like 5 seconds ago.
Can you name one more? This is just an excuse for me to say the ridiculous
I
names.
can name one.
That motherfucker, Greg Jennings, put the whole team on his back.
Zach, name one more.
That's all I
The
got.
only one I can name is the Geronimo
Geronimo
Allison. 'Cause He's
Allison.
been there for a while.
They have
Jordy Nelson.
No, he retired. I think
Randall Cobb.
Marquez Valdez-Scantling.
Yeah, I knew they had a guy with the double name.
There's Equinemius St. Brown. He didn't
Okay, so
play
they
though.
have
I don't
two.
think he played. Jimmy Graham caught a touchdown, by the way.
They fed him the ball in that.
Well,
first
he had
half.
30
God help
yards,
him.
but
God
they
help
kept trying to feed him.
Yeah, well, they kept trying to feed him the ball.
All right, and then last game of the week, New England versus Miami. Is Miami really this shitty?
Dude, that's gonna be.
They're
Yeah.
gonna
Yes.
kill him. We don't even talk about this.
It seems gonna suck.
It's in Miami. New England almost always drops
They
a
always
game.
do. God, that would be.
But I don't think it's the year that's gonna happen.
Dude, I might put like $2 on that game just in the off case Miami does win. 'Cause
Dude, you won like $400 off that.
off a $2 bet, probably not that.
I know,
I'd
I
probably
was
make
joking.
like 30 or something, but it would still be worth it. Like I might do that just because.
That'd be insane.
Just with like a side
People
note-
forget it's hot in Miami.
Yeah.
with like a side note to another game, I think kind of like you said with the Steelers, seeing like how they can bounce back after week one. I feel like this is gonna be kind of the same way with the Falcons. They play the Eagles on Sunday Night Football.
God, I hope.
And I
Well,
th- I will. I don't.
I
know.
hate both of them. Actually, I don't. The thing is, I don't hate the Falcons. They're my most likable team in the NFC South, except the Bucks, because I hate the Panthers and I hate the Saints. But I really don't like Deshaun Jackson.
The Falcons are like always a team that like.
I just like they don't have like a player I hate. Like the Saints, I just hate everything about him. Panthers, I hate Cam Newton. And
It should just be a Cam Newton hate podcast.
Fuck him.
What
Dude.
the fuck was he wearing?
he sucks.
Like, my
Their
God.
whole
He's
offense,
the Russell Westbrook of just.
their whole offense is McCaffrey.
He really is
He
Russell
played
Westbrook.
McCaffrey played every offensive snap the other day.
I know he's good.
He's their
gonna win
he's
MVP.
their only offense. And if God, I don't, you can't even, like Todd Bowles said the other day, like you can't even put like one guy on him, you're gonna get destroyed. Two guys, you're probably still gonna get
Is
destroyed.
Todd Bowles your DC?
Yeah.
That's pretty. I like.
He
that
blitzes
DC
every
pick.
play.
I like
And
blitzing.
Our defense, our secondary sucks, so it gives us at least a chance.
You have Vernon Hargraves.
He got a pick. He's good.
He got a
now.
pick six. Yeah.
He got Mike Smith screwed him.
Hudson, thank you for agreeing with my Cam Newton, Russell Westbrook. They're both like players who try and do everything themselves, wearing ridiculous
That's a good
outfits,
comparison.
and they're at best really like top.
They
10.
both had an MVP year.
They did,
and they're like crazy MVP years, like crazy in the fact that like the media like hyped them up. And they were like,
Didn't the Panthers go 15-1?
yeah, they lost their
They
last
lost to the
game against
Falcons,
yeah, but I'm pretty sure they weren't really.
that
trying
game was
that
wild.
What the fuck? I don't remember that at all.
It was our freshman year.
Yeah, it's when they played the Broncos.
They lost
and he
to
didn't
it.
jump on the ball.
They lost to
Oh,
Peyton Manning, who
yeah.
couldn't throw the ball 20 yards.
He really couldn't. He looked so
Their
bad.
that defense was
Von Miller,
unreal.
The defense.
I remember watching the game like before
I don't-
that, or his last game before that season started. That's when they played in Cincinnati, and he threw 4 picks. Like
I
he just
remember
looked,
that
he
game.
just looked bad.
Well,
That-
Brock
that-
Osweiler played like half the year for them.
That Super Bowl, I don't remember 1 minute of it. 'Cause that's one
That was-
Will. That's
that was
weird.
brutal.
Austin's. We blacked out on Sunday night. I don't remember
Good
1
times,
minute of
good
it.
times.
That's just know that Cam Newton didn't jump on the ball.
I know. Oh, I know that now.
All right. That's all for that. Last 2 quick topics. FSU sucks now.
Unfortunately.
I think all the Florida team, except Florida, like South Florida,
No.
Charlie Strong is
I
sucking.
don't know.
them up.
The defending national champions, UCF, looking pretty good.
God. Yeah.
The team that's continuously ranked
Lane
between
Kiffin's
15
not
and
doing
20.
shit at FAU,
Where's Charlie Strong at?
South
South
Florida.
Florida.
And
South
they
Florida?
like everyone thought they were going to be his first year. They went like
Isn't there like
11
a
and
big
1.
name coach at like FIU or something?
yeah.
Lane Kiffin's at FAU.
Yeah,
FIU
FAU.
has somebody
Who's it,
else.
Hud?
FI.
Who is it? I know.
Okay,
I
Kiffin's at FAU. Okay.
Who is it?
Kiffin's at FAU.
don't know.
I thought FIU
No,
had
they
some.
have someone too.
They have some like old name from some like
football coach. It's
from like the NFL or something.
It's Butch Davis.
oh yeah, the guy from the U.
Oh wait, did Tennessee lose again?
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
I'm
did.
glad. Who'd they lose to this time?
BYU.
BYU.
barely. Yeah,
They lost to
blew it.
Mormons.
They play
They
Chattanooga
suck.
this week, so they probably won't be 0-3. But
That'd be great.
I hope they go in there. That'd be very exciting. They
after the Chattanooga game, they have to play
Yeah,
Bama.
loss.
Fuck. They Bama, South Carolina,
Lost.
and Georgia,
Lost.
like in 3 straight weeks or something.
They're so trash.
Or Florida, I can't remember.
They're
It's like-
actually gonna at best be like 1-6.
Yeah, it's like 3 of those 4 teams, 3 straight weeks. It's insane.
There's no fan base that like deserves that more than them.
Yeah.
Oh, I
To
know.
be
I
how
hate
shitty
them.
they are.
I hate them.
it for
I-
them.
They're the
I kind of
worst.
like Peyton Manning though. Oh, well.
I mean, Peyton's great, but
Peyton's
fucking
cool.
Tennessee fans are
He
the
likes
worst.
pizza.
They're the worst.
And then one more topic. Me and Hudson.
Oh, sorry.
You're good, you're good. Me and Hudson were actually talking about it. Do you think Joe Burrow could be a Heisman candidate? He looked
Yes,
so
he-
good.
Yeah.
If people
it's
wouldn't
scary.
like just get out of Alabama's ass, like he should be like the leading candidate right now. Like Tua has been
Yeah.
fine. Clemson's quarterback's been fine.
He's been they both have been fine.
LSU on the road went and just
It's so weird
sure.
watching LSU have an offense like that because our whole lives they ran the most boring,
Yep.
Les Miles offense, and now it took them a few years with Ogeron, but their offense right now is like this. It's so different and it's so much better than everything else in the SEC. And yeah, I remember I was listening to a podcast, I guess today, and they were talking about like they scout all the quarterbacks the year before, and Joe Burrow had like a 6th-round grade. And they're like, after that game, like he could be a first-round quarterback.
I think he's going to be picked in the first round now.
Which is so weird because nobody would have thought that, but he looked unreal.
I mean, I was just like fun. That was a fun game to watch. Like
I hate Texas too. I was so happy. I hate Tom Herman.
like
I hate Tom Herman too.
he
There's
just
just stuff about them and the horns down thing. Was that true?
No, yeah, they tried to appeal to like the NCAA.
Was that actually true though? I heard it was
Yeah,
fake.
I
I thought it was real. I
I
don't
saw
know.
a tweet.
if that's real, that's so bullshit. Like it's dumb that it's a penalty to begin with. You can't put horns up in someone's face and not get a penalty, and then be like complain when people are doing it
Yeah.
just down. Like they're just
Like you're
stupid.
taunting. If you're gonna call that taunting, it's taunting both ways.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But no, Joe Burrow looked good. Sam Ehlinger actually looked pretty decent too for
Yeah.
Texas. Like he had 400 yards. He could have been a little bit more accurate, but at least in college.
So-
standards.
yeah.
So far, who's even in the Heisman? It's who's in the Heisman race after 2 weeks?
gonna be
Jonathan Taylor.
He's probably in the first place.
Who did
right
I say
now.
last week? I can't think of his name right now. Joe Burrows definitely would be considered in it.
Jalen. How did Jalen Hurts?
Jalen Hurts. Thank you.
Jalen
Thank
Hurts,
God.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because I know the first game he was unreal.
Let me look that up real quick. Let me go look up OU.
Because I feel like last year's Tua stats were unreal. Kyler Murray came on late, but Tua did put up. Because the conception with Tua is that he's like he throws a lot of dumb passes. And I was like, well, as a Bucs fan, that's not what I want. I literally do not want Jameis 2.0. But I looked at his stats. He threw like I think 45 touchdowns, like 7 interceptions. Like he was so I didn't know he was that good last year, but
Jalen Hurts, 14 for 18, 256 yards, 3 touchdowns.
Jesus Christ.
And he was like, I'll throw
on
on
14 completions.
Yes, and he was like, I'll throw in about 50 yards rushing. So
I mean he has a shot. Yeah.
Who they play?
They played University of what the fuck team is this?
If it was somebody bad,
South Dakota.
they probably he
Unknown.
only played probably.
Yeah, I
Jack
know, I was-
Rabbits.
Yeah, University of South Dakota. He played his backup had like 10 passes.
And yeah,
there was,
he probably only
another
played, like,
backup,
the
4
half,
passes, yeah.
It's going to be wild this year because I feel like Tua is definitely and Trevor Lawrence are the front runners, but this could be a year where somebody else
I hope someone else does.
comes up because Lawrence hasn't looked. I mean, he's obviously he's really good, but he hasn't been the god people make him out to be yet. He's only a sophomore, but
Yeah, none of them had
Yeah, I
very good week 1 games, did they?
I think Jonathan Taylor's probably the front runner right now. I think Hurts will be considered for it. Burrow if he's playing the same way. I think eventually either Jake Fromm or
Yeah,
DeAndre
he'll
Swift
make-
we talked
I love
about.
Jake Fromm.
Is DeAndre Swift the running
running
back?
back.
Number
He's
7.
he's legit. He's
They'll-
killed Kentucky both years.
They'll both be talked about in the Heisman conversation. There's probably other people I'm forgetting.
I
right now
love
off the top
Jake
of my head.
Fromm.
Do we have to go to Georgia or do we?
No,
Go to
yeah.
Georgia.
It's at Georgia.
Well,
Next year's our year, maybe against them because they'll have a new
our
quarterback.
defense is going to be I was listening to a podcast today, and they were talking about our defense for next year because
We don't lose anybody.
that. Yeah, that
We lose like Cash and like 2 D linemen.
that Xavier Peters got
Yeah.
cleared today. They were talking. They're like the defense next year is going to be all former 4-star, 5 stars, and the backups will be like 4 stars also.
That's wild.
Real quick before we sign off, anything to watch for in the NFL this Sunday? If
Who's the
Antonio
first coach to get fired?
Yeah, I was actually just gonna say that. Who's gonna be the? Because you know there's usually like a week by
An
week 4
in-season.
someone gets fired.
I don't know.
It
It's gonna be
won't.
someone random. I think.
It's not gonna be a first year coach.
It's not gonna be a first year coach.
The person I would think like who has a hot seat right now is Jay Gruden, but I don't think they're gonna start out bad enough for him to get.
Yeah, I can't see. Also, they have to know like just they don't have their quarterback in yet.
Maybe I don't think the Jaguars would do it, but maybe Doug Marrone.
Yeah, they got Foles got hurt though. I don't know.
I guess that bought him some
In
time.
my personal opinion, I can't see any coach getting fired right now. I just don't I don't see anyone in the hot seat. Because a lot of the head coaches are first years.
Who's the first quarterback to get benched?
Eli.
Oh yeah, that's an easy one actually.
I think Pat Shermer will probably be the first one talked about getting fired.
Oh,
too.
I wish,
wait,
but we don't have a backup.
Hot take.
Who's
If
your
Mitch
backup?
Trubisky plays really bad, I don't think he'll get benched.
Who's their backup?
Who's their backup?
Doesn't matter. He played so bad.
It's Chase Daniel. I know who theirs is.
Yeah. I'm not.
Wait,
Do
who's
you
y'all's backup, Zach?
Ryan Or it's actually.
Wait, no. Change it. Jameis Winston. First,
It's
gotta get
Blaine
benched.
Gabbert, but
Ooh.
but he's
God.
hurt. But it's Ryan Griffin who he's like the preseason god. He throws for like 250 every preseason, but he's never had a real snap.
Yeah, I changed my answer to Jameis Winston. I don't know why.
Dude, I don't know.
That one's actually probably gonna happen.
Arians, I was pissed after our game. I've been the biggest Jameis supporter, and then I was just pissed. I'm done with him kind of. But Arians came out in his press conference Monday and was like, pretty much went through all of his plays and was like, one of them's on him, everything else was not on him, which I don't agree with. But I think Arians also said something like he doesn't evaluate a quarterback in a new system until like week 8, and so I think he has to say that because he took the job because of Jameis, and pretty much if Jameis sucks this year, they're gonna fire the GM, who thank God, and then they'll draft the quarterback, and Arians will have like a year or two with him, then he'll hand it over to Todd Bowles probably.
Do you think the NFL will suspend Antonio Brown, and do you think the Patriots will do their own suspension?
No.
I think the answer is no to both those.
No, I don't think so. If they don't suspend Tyreek Hill, you got to be kidding me.
Shout out Tyreek Hill.
Dude, what happened to him too? Yeah,
he got carted off. I don't know.
They took him to the hospital with a shoulder separation. How does that?
That's the football gods. That's
a lot of karma happened last week. I hate to bring that up, but a lot of karma happened if you go through.
Yeah. That's the NFL suspension, or that's the NFL god suspension. I think if Antonio Brown tears his ACL this Sunday for the Patriots, I think we know what happened.
The thing is, I always forget. It's like every week one, I'm like, wow, that team's so good or that team sucks. You remember last year they were like the Bills went to Minnesota.
Oh, and they curb stomped them, right?
They killed them. Josh Allen looked like a god, and then they sucked the rest of the year. But there's always these teams at the beginning of the year, like the Bucs last year. They went 2-0, and then we blew it. I feel like there's going to be a team or two this year.
Steelers went 7-2-1, didn't make the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean I do think some of the teams that start off let's say the Steelers are, some of these teams that start out 0-2. I do think there's a lot's going to shake up because it always does. And there were some teams like the Jets looked awful, which I was so surprised by. But the Bills, I don't think they're any good.
I don't think the Ravens.
I don't think they're as good as they saw.
I think obviously every team's going to abuse Miami. I'm not saying the Ravens are bad, but I can't see them ever putting up more than 40 points for the rest of the season. I could be wrong, but I just don't think they have enough offensive talent for that.
Yeah, it's going to be there. I think the Ravens are going to be an 8-8, 9-7 type team, and then I think the Browns. I think like Hudson said earlier, I think they'll be 7-9-8. I don't think they're going to be terrible, but their O-line is. Baker can't even throw the ball.
I've been saying this. That's their weakness, and
he can't even see he can't even throw a ball. He's too short. He can't see over the guys.
I don't know if you remember this, Hudson. When I was over here, I was telling you their offensive tackle got kicked because he kicked it in the face, and I was like, that's actually so bad because their line's already really weak.
Yeah, they suck. Their line. If they also didn't get Odell and Jarvis Landry that involved because the Titans have two good corners.
And I guess it's also because Baker was just struggling to get the ball out.
He was not good in the preseason, so he needs to get his shit figured out.
He threw 3 picks. I think
that's how they lost.
Yeah.
I mean that's why the score looked as bad as it did because they were keeping them relatively close.
Mm. All right, that's all for us for this week. I want to give another quick shout out to Lil Bruce looking at me over there.
Shout out to OJ Simpson.
Shout out.
Who the fuck is Lil Bruce?
Oh, right there.
What am I looking at?
Is that the duck?
Yeah, it's a duck.
Oh my god. I don't even see it from where I'm at.
All right, Pump is Full fans, it's been yours truly.
Hey, Twitter world.
Hello, Twitter world. All right, signing out.
That's it.